Gang, gang. Last year trying to warn them, this year I destroyed them. Fish talk of the city, now I'm the one they annoy with. Instead of spilling emotions, it's Hennessy in the morning, the cheap suits in the afternoon with more Henny porn.
Yo.
Hey, you.
Cobretti in the building.
Cobretti.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
We're getting the intros out of here.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg.
Cobra Kai.
Kick to the chest.
Sensei.
Do you ever do a side kick to the head? Have you ever done that to somebody?
I've never. Nah, like, yo, there's this thing, and you know, it's a new era of mixed martial arts and stuff where that's acceptable. But back in the day, that shit wasn't. That's when fights really got weird.
Yeah.
Like when you were fighting people and somebody like kicked at you. It was like an unspoken rule. We throwing hands and shit, and somebody kicks at you. You go, "Oh, we kicking, nigga? Oh, we kicking?" Yo, that was like,
we kicking?
We taking it there? We kicking, nigga?
It took the fight to like another
Yeah,
level.
like, all right, nigga, you could. I was just trying to
God
knock you
forbid
unconscious.
somebody-
You trying to fuck on my ACL?
Hey, but God forbid you did a curve stomp.
That's crazy.
Now that's wild.
Nah, that's nothing for Nazi movies. Ain't nobody was really getting curb stomped.
I think somebody was really trying to do that. People were trying to do that in a fight. That's
Niggas-
like, I'm trying to kill someone.
Yeah, the people who really couldn't control it, bro. Them niggas is weird.
Yeah, they're wilding, man. Oh, and then, of course, let's introduce myself.
Hey, guy.
You're now tuned into the kid.
Lido.
Kid.
Ladies.
Star double R. Crank that shit up.
Hey, man,
Starlito.
just want to say real quick, I genuinely want to say a happy, breast cancer month. Why you laugh? Why you laugh? Oh, yeah. It's like you never heard me say nothing nice.
Look, honestly,
What's that?
I don't know who you were saying that to. Like the way that you said it, I thought you were
my
talking
approach?
to me. I thought this was a personal message to me. I thought you was finally going to give me my
I'm not
props as a
thanking you.
human. And this nigga said, "Happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month," and I was
I
like,
barely
don't have
like
breast
you.
cancer awareness. Oh,
You're not that likable.
that's debatable.
The fact that it had to be a debate.
No,
though,
I really, you got to be fair about shit. I'm a dick. I'm not an asshole, but I am a
a little
dick.
bit of both.
No, nobody wants to be around assholes. They stink.
You're like a dick asshole connection. Wait,
That's whole.
That's weird.
That's whole. I'm a gooch.
Yeah. You're right in
You're
between.
fucking gooch.
You're the right in between.
You can't even.
You're the borderline for how far
The
some
gooch.
guys will go.
Yeah. You calling me the gooch?
Yeah.
That sound like some Minnesota
You're
shit.
the gooch god.
Oh, stop it, don't you know? You big galoot. You big gaboon.
Hey, man, I just want to know. Hey, I brought the pink out, bro. I'm out here.
Oh, you rose gold in
I'm
it?
rose golden.
That shit gives me fucking flashbacks, bro. I don't appreciate it.
I know you had trauma, previous
Bro,
trauma, man.
I got rose gold flashbacks.
When you got robbed by a...
I didn't get robbed, bro.
I get robbed by
I
a
did
manager
get
at
robbed,
IHOP.
bro. I did.
Yes, you got robbed. You want to talk about it?
I've already talked about it. I didn't really get robbed,
Mm.
How do you get robbed when you're strong-arming them?
I mean,
Literally.
who ended up with the watch? Stand corrected.
Yeah, but they had to call the police, though. Why they always got to involve the police when it comes to the black man, bro?
I heard the guy was half black.
He wasn't. He wasn't.
Was he a Mexicano?
He was a Mexicano.
Damn. I was gonna say, man, I gotta hold down my people.
Right now,
but
he's
that's
doing
not my people.
Right now, he's doing the Shador Sanders. Right now,
He's still flexing that watch.
Still flexing the watch.
20 years later, Jesus Christ.
This is the last time I had to knock a motherfucker out.
Yo, I bet you, like, when somebody gets away with some shit, their whole story is their narrative only.
For sure.
Their narrative went from like, yo, like the part about calling the police, the part about
No, they get the control
the
of it.
altercation and how they were getting punked. Turns into like, yeah, I was telling this cat some shit, fucking IHOP. He tried to step to me. I handle business.
And it always starts with a lie. And it was like, okay, so boom. It was like, you lying.
Had a manhandle the
already-
motherfucker.
yeah.
And I took his watch.
I wrangled this nigga. I was wrangling him. He ain't never been wrangled.
The part about you forgetting the watch at the restaurant was not part of the narrative that he presents to people. Till this day.
Of course not.
Till this
And
day.
at the end of the day, if I'm taking personal responsibility, that was on me.
Yeah. Fair.
How did I leave my most prized possession at that moment? That was literally my most prized possession.
I don't know
I
how
left
you
it
would
like-
have. You know what? To be fair though, some of my prized possessions I've lost. But unlike you, I went and replaced.
Nah, I couldn't replace it.
Sentimental value?
Sentimental value, yeah.
Fuck out of here, yo.
I was shining, bro.
You don't have no feelings.
I just got like a whole bunch of pictures of me in my early 20s with that watch. Just
hey, not even yourself.
no,
Just the
it's
watch.
just
in
the
the
watch.
frame.
Some of these angles is just all watches and eyebrows. That was
Now it's just the
watching
eyebrows.
eyebrows, bro.
Now it's just the eyebrows.
So if
That's
he's
crazy.
listening out there, when I catch you, Ricky, when I catch you, Ricky, when I catch you, it's still not over.
It's not over.
Still not
the
over.
feud continues.
That shit ain't TikTok in years. It's still in his garage somewhere. I want it back.
You're not letting go of the grudge.
Fuck that shit.
I feel you, man.
All right, let's get right into Jada.
I was gonna say that for later because I know that's your girl.
I got a perspective though.
Sure. Well, before that, wait.
Get your
Before we get there, we
All
were
right.
on restaurants real quick.
All right.
You know your IHOP situation.
Sure.
I wanted to start off real quick because there was a video circulating.
Mm-hmm.
This video had a young man who was taking his lady on a date.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but for those who might not know, they need some context.
Cheesecake Factory.
No, actually, that was not the first destination. Come to find out, he actually had this whole arrangement, reservations, things of that sort for a nice restaurant, real
Mhm.
nice. Her ass was late to where they got canceled.
Oh, I didn't see all of that.
Oh, certain people only put out certain content or the certain visuals they want you to see. So I went and investigated. There's no way. This guy was being a little too nice to be like, nah, I ain't taking you
this
somewhere
video,
good.
this video is like Thanksgiving dinner for red pill niggas. You know that, right?
Yes, it
This
is.
shit was spoon fed
Oh,
to them
yes.
for them to fucking jerk off like
Yeah.
fucking stupid
Yeah.
bitches.
They was over there fucking
Oh my
spraying
god.
their fucking microphones.
They
Yes.
got, they got a whole they've got a whole genre of that where it's a bunch of I know y'all seen that genre where it's like a whole bunch of dudes that are trying to be nice to a lady and then they get rejected and then they go into a Lamborghini and the girl changes her mind.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fucking bitch. Like
Yeah.
them videos is tailor fit for
They're,
red pill
they're
niggas.
setting it up for that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But in this case, this man was like, I think he was genuinely confused. Like, why are you recording me? Like, why are you recording
Sure,
this,
'cause
right?
anybody would be like that.
But come to find out, he was actually planning on, he had reservations for a nice restaurant, go on a date. I believe this might have been their first date.
Mhm.
And she was late for whatever reason. And it actually said, the other video I seen actually shows her saying like, I know I was late, no. Like, yo, because of you, the reservation was canceled. And now that he's trying to find an alternative and he's taking you to Cheesecake Factory,
Mhm.
boom, you bashing this man
I don't-
publicly.
I don't blame her.
On some Jada shit.
I don't blame her.
For what?
I don't blame her.
Why not?
Here's why I don't blame her.
You don't fuck with cheesecake?
No, I'm confused because you know
Okay.
maybe we just was some broke niggas, but I was like, I thought Cheesecake Factory was a good time. I thought that was cool.
It is a pretty good time.
Why is that not?
So what I'm doing here, I'm coming to the cheesecake defense.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to defend the guy either.
but okay. Now here's what I'm going to say. I've seen at least 4 different videos
Sure.
from these women influencers
Okay.
who are trying to tell women that you're better than this, and they have specifically said Cheesecake Factory. So when she reacts the way she's reacting, I was like, I've seen where she gets that attitude from, where she adopted that
Of course.
from. So she was influenced by people who are, that's the problem with everybody trying to be influencers, and everybody has their opinion because you
Yeah.
actually do influence people into like fucking wrecking their lives. There's a difference between being an influencer and being an influence. So I've seen
Yeah.
all the shit that put her in that mindset. I'm not excusing her, but I'm like, I've seen the source of that
You
shit.
know where it comes from.
I know where that shit comes from.
No.
I've seen about 4 or 5 different videos.
And I think that's easy to see when we're thinking logically on how people react nowadays,
Mhm.
like how they move. A lot of their behaviors, characteristics are developed based on what they see, right? A lot of this stuff now stemming from social media. Cool, whatever. The fact of the matter is that, like, yo, you look like a whole asshole.
She made a, like it them situations backfire.
But not
Because you think you're proving a point, but when you watch it back,
it's bad.
it's like,
it's bad.
that's a bad look, baby.
But what I would say too is like we're in that age too where a lot of these it may be a mix of men and women. I'm pretty sure there's dudes out here too trying to like, you know, put something on camera, whether they're trying to get the upper hand, whether they know it's going to get clicks later. uplift the man and all the males are gonna like your fucking shit and everybody's on my dick now. Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
whatever. But it's just like we're in that age now where it's okay to embarrass the person you're with. Some of these people are embarrassing their significant others, just like the Jada situation. People are okay doing this publicly.
I disagree with you, but
It's hard to disagree when it's on videos. Their videos circulate the net.
I hear you.
And I'm like, how did we get here? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could say that. I mean, cheaters was a thing. But
that was embarrassing.
But he got stabbed though.
But cheaters, didn't he end up cheating too?
He did, and he got stabbed.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But we're at that point now where a woman or a man is okay completely publicly embarrassing their significant other in public, on social media, on TikTok, Instagram, it doesn't matter. And they're okay doing this and it's humiliating.
I think we have different definitions of embarrassing, right?
I mean, depends on what your definition is.
Okay. My definition, all right. If you compare Will and Jada,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to talk about the August Alsina, we'll get to that.
Sure.
But if you look at something like an Offset and a Cardi,
Okay.
well, he's constantly cheating, and then there's proof of it, and then there's people showing proof of it. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, I agree.
As a celebrity, if you are giving information and to a people who already have a appetite for information on your lives because you're a celebrity and you're exalted, that's stuff that I've seen all of our lives. That's what tabloids and all of these other magazines and stuff are devoted to, because if they don't give information on their lives, then magazines don't need to exist. Newspapers don't need to exist, because what are they going to do? Just cover, newspapers can cover regular people. Magazines and stuff focus on celebrities and the things that they do. Even the most menial, regular, hey, Scarlett Johansson went to go take her laundry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're celebrities and people exalt them, information about their lives is a thing, right? So we can skip right to the Jada talk, right?
You could, but I think what I'm going to point out before you get there is the fact that
I don't think it's anything new.
Those are celebrities.
Uh-huh.
But now I feel like it's more of a common thing because of our devices and because of the influences that you mentioned, is that now this is becoming like, it almost feels like a norm for some people.
I think,
and this is regular people just who have social media, because everybody has social media. That's not even including the celebs, you know? So I just think that we're in a space too where there's a lot of disrespect. And, you know, or for people who are asking the question about, you know, the complications of dating, or, you know, women are bad these days, men are bad. Like, you know, there's always an insult, but it's like, look what we're doing to one another, though. At the end of the day, like, you guys are trying to do things that you probably wouldn't have done 10 years ago.
I think the only thing that's different is our participation.
Possibly.
This has always been a thing. Bobby and Whitney did fucking exist. That was embarrassing. The only thing different now is comment section. Now we get to share our opinion, so there's a collective, hey, he's embarrassing, and people run with a narrative that is given through the commenting, but this type of stuff has always existed.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only thing is different is now we get to participate. Now we're part of the conversation.
And that's where I'm getting at, yeah. But anyway,
Okay.
moving on to Jada.
All right, let's get right into it.
That's your girl.
Used to be my girl, but
You've had to change your heart.
well, my heart first started changing when she married Will.
That's true.
I was very, very upset with her. I'm a short, dark-skinned guy.
She let you down.
She got with the tall, light-skinned guy. But like, I don't appreciate that shit in the 90s,
She got with
bro.
the better one.
Whatever, nigga. All right, so let's do it. Because I got a different perspective, right?
Sure. Let's get into it.
So, I agree
Mm-hmm.
with, because personally, I don't put my relationship out like that.
Sure.
I've seen too much negative happen within my own circle, right?
Mhm.
So, yes, I agree with the narrative that, hey, we would like you to leave us alone. Stop giving us all the information, right?
Mhm. Yes.
But they're also,
Oh, I
but
would love that.
for let's call a spade, and that's what we're gonna do. Let's take it to the dojo. Content creators, shut the fuck up. You don't agree. You don't want her to shut up because she's giving you so much content. She's giving you so much.
Look at the work she's providing you.
Look at everything that she's giving you.
Yeah.
All that shit is fake outrage, just like politics.
Yeah.
That's number one.
I think the people who are not
It's-
capitalizing on it.
It's
Yeah,
fake.
like some of us are fucking probably annoyed.
I get to see all of these blogs and the Ryan Davises and shit like that. They got so much to say, but she's giving you so much to say. She gave you a segment.
Yeah.
She's giving you 2, 3. He can probably take that on that little court show that they have. Right?
And her family.
Call a spade, right?
All this stuff happening at the family's expense.
Yeah. Call
Yeah.
a spade. Number 2, right? And let's keep things in the perspective since we're in the dojo.
Sure.
If you have a volatile baby mama that's giving you the blues right now,
Mm-hmm.
if you are currently going through or have gone through a terrible divorce, shut the fuck up. You don't get to have an opinion because the last time I checked, Jada's worth $50 million. Will Smith is worth $350 million.
Mm-hmm.
They live in California.
Rich.
If Jada
Big
wanted
rich.
to get a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
do you know what she could do to Will Smith?
Something tragic.
She could destroy that man.
Yep.
She's done everything but that. She refuses to do that. Jada deserves more props because I got a whole bunch of niggas with terrible, uncooperative, violent, volatile baby mamas tearing their life apart,
With no money.
going through bad, terrible divorces.
And broke as hell.
Here you have a person that is doing their best. Even when we're not together, I will not destroy you. I won't take anything away from you. We can live separate, but we're not going to mess up this foundation that we built.
Sure.
Even if that means, hey, my kids are grown and out the house. Once I divorce and take half your shit, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
She's fine. She's trying not to do that shit, right?
Yeah.
That's number 2. Number 3, about a year and a half ago, Will Smith put out an amazing book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Part of that rollout is press, and he had a lot of press, many documentaries and stuff like that. Ain't nobody have shit to say. He's revealing a lot in that book, which is a great book. Ain't nobody have shit to say. Now she writes a book. Not only has she had an amazing life as a producer and a director, she's in a rock band. She raised these kids and been part of this fucking A-list family. She's got something to say. What she do? She does press, just like Will did. What you mad at her for? It's
The narrative.
is unbalanced. Okay, the narrative. Let's say
I think that, I mean, people as a whole, most likely. Or the idea that we keep, every time you hear like Jada's name, it's something
sure
aimed at Will. And I think people, if you take it back, people being such a Will Smith fan, right?
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. And so, but I could kind of see like if somebody, for example, is feeling away because the way that it's being presented, right? Let's say that this family, they got the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
They know that, hey, our toxic appearance of a relationship here is generating all of this. It's making us money. It's giving people their platforms something to talk about. We're constantly in the headlines. They're not losing, and I'm pretty sure the Smith family could care less about what the public is talking about. If anything, they're just, like you said, they're giving the creators content.
Let me
right?
ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you think they have a successful relationship?
It depends on what you define as success. Now, I guess in my personal opinion, I don't know what goes on for real behind your closed doors because it could all be bullshit.
Right.
Just like you might not know what goes on behind my closed doors, and I'm not a celebrity, but he is. But we don't really know what's going on. Like, is it a game plan? Yes, they are. The whole family is. They could have, this could be their agenda. This is their game plan. Who knows?
Who knows? Here's
Does it directly affect me?
No.
Of course not. So I can't be mad at it. But if you ask me for my honest opinion in regards to like relationship matter and how that looks, I can give you a different perspective on that. And I will give you my honest thoughts in regards to like, I think it's because I'm big on not disrespecting your partners.
Mhm.
right? So if that was a legitimate like disrespect over these years of like, I'm having an entanglement here and Will's cheating over here and blah blah blah. We just had this open relationship, and now I'm like I'm embarrassing him and saying like embarrassing things on social media or to the press or whoever. That looks ugly for me if you're asking me for my relationship perspective.
Okay. Two things. Thing number one, the kid's successful.
Yeah.
Business
I would
owners,
say so. Yeah,
artists,
as a whole, no family is.
influence.
Yeah.
They've
Shit,
amassed,
even
they've
the mama
amassed,
even the grandmama.
yeah, they've
successful.
amassed not only a fortune, but a foundation.
Yeah.
No divorce.
No divorce. The kids don't have kids.
Kids never been locked up.
Nope.
Kids never been on drugs.
Questionable.
This is not a successful relationship.
That might be questionable, but that's
The only
irrelevant.
difference between them and regular people is that they're not regular people. So
Yeah.
when they go through problems, we see it. But if you look at their lives and people are like, well, they're not an example. They're a perfect example. They just showed you
Mhm.
how to deal with, like they put more into understanding each other.
Of course.
They said this long time ago. We realize that we can't make each other happy.
Mhm.
Happiness is your job. You know what I'm saying? It's your job, and we depend on our spouses, or we think that they figured that shit out a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
So they ain't been together since 2016, and ain't nobody know. The August Alsina thing,
It was like 2017.
no, that came out 3 years ago.
Okay.
But for them, that was like years ago.
Mhm.
Jada didn't put that out. August did. They had to come out and explain it because he put it out there. And the funny part about it was Will was laughing because he literally said, control your hoes. Meaning he's had his women
and they
she's
didn't
had
talk.
her guys. They never said anything. It was the motherfucking dude that said something.
I was feeling away when he was bagging my crushes.
So imagine how it feels when you've got to come out
And explain.
and explain some shit that not only happened years ago. That wasn't it. Was like we thought it was like it had just happened.
Somebody was caught up in their feels.
It was August, yeah.
Yeah.
So now she's got to come out, and on top of that, Jada and Will ain't even together like that. So they've got to come out and just
Now we got to explain our personal lives.
like if you people only knew, that shit is like history to us.
My thing is too is like, bro, everybody who has an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I say everybody, but probably a good amount of people who have an opinion on what their family image is. I guarantee your lives ain't no better. Your choices haven't been no
it
better.
really ain't.
Y'all, and but it's easy to judge from the outside, just looking in, and we can say whatever we want, and we're not making no choices that are any better. Probably worse, actually.
How
Like-
many people can honestly say that they've made it in their relationships past cheating? I can say that.
Yeah.
Now I had to be taught that. And in my personal relationship, it'd be like, oh, you can come back stronger from this.
You can.
Most people are done. And you can actually have to think about whether that's immature or a mature decision.
What is your thoughts on a spouse or significant other cheating on you? Like, are you
I'm
Let's-
different than everybody, so
but like, are you the type to let's see if we can work it out, or you've kind of diminished the trust there?
it depends on the investment.
Mm-hmm.
If we've been together for about a year or two, I don't know.
That might be a good walkout.
Yeah, I don't know, because that's early.
Not enough invested time.
We've been together 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
We're married. Some shit happened because my personal way of thinking is this, and this is just me. If we're married or we've been in a relationship for 5 years, I know you as a person.
Yeah.
I know you well enough to know that you're not a dog, because I would have caught that a long time ago, right?
Sure.
If you're not a dog, there was a lane. Where did that lane come from? There's a lane. Something, a need is not being satisfied.
Somewhere.
That's on me.
Do you think it's a possibility, though, that let's say your needs are being met? Because a lot of people say that people could possibly cheat because there's a void somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what if there's not really a void in some cases, and it still leads to cheating due to some other reason? Maybe a sex addiction. Maybe
But that's
a way to
that's a problem that
Yeah.
that deals with me or them. But even then, you would know it's impossible to be in a long-term relationship with somebody who has a sex addiction and not notice.
yeah.
Their appetite is drastically larger than yours,
Mm.
and sooner or later, it's something that you can't fulfill.
Yeah, that's true.
So naturally, if you can't fulfill, something's going to happen. You clearly know that there's a problem. This person has an unusual appetite, and I can't keep up. And then they wind up cheating. You knew that something was wrong.
Yeah. There's a possibility.
Y'all didn't have that conversation of maybe having an open or something like that. When it happens, you've got to know, okay, like I just said, there was a need that wasn't fulfilled. Sure, they may have a problem with sex, but that's still a need that wasn't fulfilled. You couldn't fulfill that, and you didn't address it either
Yeah, until it's too late.
until it's too late.
Yeah.
So either way, like I said, it comes back to you. If you're not dealing with the dog, you're dealing with a lane. And I know that because when I was in my early years, there was a stretch in my life where I only wanted to deal with women that were in relationships. It was too easy
Mm-hmm.
because there was a lane. Their significant other left this lane and they would be unsatisfied. And we could be at work or something like that. And she's just going to tell me everything he's doing wrong. And I'm going to just do that shit and slide in there because there was a lane for me to slide in.
Sorry, I just thought of something. Is it true that Stephen Hawkins was a cheater too?
Who?
Stephen Hawkins?
How?
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 That's what I was wondering.
Hold on.
I see some videos
Hold on.
pop
Hold
up.
on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I know this is fucked up, but that finger game
Just
was
go there.
kinda mean.
Yo!
Hey, come on. That finger game
Yo.
was mean.
That finger, those finger muscles was
Them
wilding.
shits was trained. That finger game was, mean.
very flickery.
Directional because he had to move his fingers.
He probably had a lot of flexibility in them damn fingers.
Yo.
That's crazy. That
This nigga's fingers he's had like 5 different individual Simone Biles on his hands.
Yo, my God, dude. Jesus Christ.
Olympian Terminator hands.
Bow to your sensei.
Come on, dog. We in the dojo.
That's crazy.
But you feel what I'm saying? There's always a lane. If you're not dealing with a dog, there's a lane or something they're not spoken of.
Yeah.
And that's your fault for not acknowledging. Now imagine we do talk about it
Yeah.
and you don't give no results, no effort. When they do it,
Mm-hmm.
you got to know that there was a lane.
Yeah.
You can blame them and end it. But secretly, in your alone time, you knew. You just didn't address it.
Sure.
It's a lane.
Going back to
Only way somebody can get in is if you let from a lane, whether that be emotional,
Yeah.
whether that be physical, whether that be my love language is touch. You're not affectionate. You're too comfortable in
Yeah.
a relationship. That's a lane.
so you kind of just let things happen.
A nigga with a good massage can just
Yeah. Can go
I
a long
know.
way.
I know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm sure you do.
I was good at it in my early days. I was
You
good
was
at it.
Hawkins with the hands, right?
Like, all right, what is the need? How do I get in there?
Yo, I'm trying to think back now. I'm like, yo, how did Hawkins begin this shit?
His finger game was mean.
No, the
bro.
communication part first. Like, yo, how did he like did the girl just approach him and be like, hey,
He hit them with that Dr. Robotnik shit.
hey, Hawk, you like what you see? Yo,
Are you happy? Oh, I'm going to fucking hell, bro.
that's crazy.
Are you happy?
I wonder what the girl was thinking though.
I'm rich, bitch.
Like, I'm trying to get something. Yo, Hawkins hitting somebody with
Trying
I'm
to get
rich,
hawked at?
bitch. That's crazy. That
he
is
did a couple
super crazy.
spins. He was super smart. He knew how to get in there.
He knew how to get in the walls. Oh,
Human emotion is irrelevant. All that is left is pleasure.
yo, yeah, you're going to hell.
I'm driving the bus, baby. Meep, meep.
Yeah,
Get
man.
in. You're in the back.
You're a fucking demon.
You understand what I'm saying, though? As far as this Jada stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, we want her to stop talking about it, but you don't also.
And
You like
y'all-
the content.
y'all got content.
You're the ones who are controlling the fucking narrative. Y'all talk all that shit about unhappiness and blah, blah, blah. Them niggas ain't broke up yet.
And now we talking about it.
We spend all that time talking about the shit and our relationships are breaking up. Them niggas is solid.
Yep.
Even not being together.
And getting more money.
And getting more money together. Dedicated.
Crazy.
They put more time and energy and exploration into their relationship.
Sure.
For all these people who don't even know themselves to be talking shit about them.
That's the thing, man. I think that kind of is what shies me away from this social media world we live in now, is the fact that, like, for example, like, you jump on a Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many emotional beings are just posting to the point where, like, yo, do I still want to be friends with this person? Like, God. I mean,
And they're not famous. Imagine if they were famous. We'd be like, hey, leave us alone.
I'm just like, bro, not only that, but, you know, people might not like my perspective on this, but I'm like, dude,
I hate
why do you think that everybody gives a fuck about?
But it's social media, like, it makes us self-centered. It's about us.
Yeah, and I get that. But at the end of the day, like, things that you would think you might handle in private, people want to expose it out there. And then not only that, but some of these people are the same people who get upset that everybody's in their business, but you made it their business.
Attention is the new money.
It's crazy. But it's very hypocritical too.
That's humans. That's why I'm like, everybody that I see that has the biggest opinions on a Jada, on how much they hate her, it'll be like, you're going through a fucking divorce right now. Or you can't control your baby mama.
I think you cheated.
Them niggas is still solid.
Yeah.
Whatever you think about Jada and all of that shit like that, them niggas ain't got a divorce yet.
They still have the solid foundation.
And they'll have it for that long while you're still after the talk dies down.
They're still going to be living that life.
They're still going to be straight. And you'll be like, he's just embarrassing. He's not that embarrassed.
Obviously not.
He's straight. They've worked out a system. That's more energy put into a relationship that you'll do with yours.
It's a system that
works.
Your average won't understand.
Yep.
That's what it is.
How can you hate a black woman that is staring 350 in the face and we're no longer together?
And she still ain't taking your money.
She still ain't pulled the trigger. Don't want to.
That's a fair point.
But you mad at her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear nobody talking about these Mariah Mills taking advantage of little young ass Zion Williams, taking him for money, and all of these. What's the other young chick that was just on Shay Shay in the Morning, take advantage of all these young Brittany Renner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we love her now because she's turning a new leaf and all of that shit. Fuck all of that. That is what you should hate.
Yeah.
The one person that's doing exactly what even red pillars hate about women. You hate Jada all that much, but here you have a woman that is holding him down. You know what I'm saying? Not divorcing him, not taking his money.
Mm-hmm. Not only
they're
that,
just not. They're just like, well, you're talking about your relationship. Everybody does. She just happens to be a celebrity.
Not only that, but even with her lack of romantic connection with Will now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they had been separated for so many years.
Yeah,
it's like, bro, she still doesn't feel the need to, like, she could divorce, not take nothing from him, and be straight for life still. Like, she doesn't even need a man.
Dog, Will spoke
but she's there.
Will spoke for himself. It's like, look, everybody's like, damn, y'all weren't even together, and he went up there and smacked Chris Rock and lost all of this shit. Like, my nigga, look at this. Not only did this motherfucker come against y'all family on the Oscars in front of white people, then when word came about that you guys weren't together like that, he hollered at her.
Yeah.
Then when that didn't work, he talked about her again in front of you. I smacked the fucking shit out that nigga. And if you have any feelings on what you think Will thinks, he said it. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Yeah, because you can be separated. That don't mean we're divorced.
Look, man, y'all talk all of that shit, but there's still the example on how to handle a relationship through the turbulent times.
Of course.
Everybody else would have been broke up and had nasty ass divorces and niggas is fighting over fortune and over kids and shit. Nope, they're chilling.
Yeah.
You have your life, I have my life. We're not going to break up this foundation. Nigga, that's role model shit.
Like, I'll be honest. I do get annoyed because of the constant
I do want them-
reminders of their situation. Right?
I don't want to deal with their situation no more. I will say that.
I'm over it. It's annoying
For sure.
but I know it. I understand it's always going to come back up.
But he put a book out.
But-
Why can't she get her shit off?
But I will say that to see people get so mad at a situation that they're not a part of,
I just think
it's so crazy to me.
I think it's just, like I said, it's the comment section. I think it's just generally popular to hate Jada at this point.
Yeah.
And that's what anything she does, they're going to find a way to squeeze Pac or you're embarrassing Will in it.
It is weird, though, the crazy weirdo obsession with Pac, though.
It's not a crazy, you're literally
I
talking
think
about my
it's-
best friend.
No, but I think it's I do think it's a little strange.
With her or with people?
No, with her.
That was her best friend.
So? Give a fuck.
All right.
The whole house shouldn't look like.
I just...
If you
I think
came through,
even when Pac's people will come out and say like, "Yo, that like they're talking about this obsession thing," I'm just like, it is a little strange.
if you went through what they went through in a certain friendship,
that's
she's
fine.
got different insights.
Completely fine.
Poverty, jail,
Completely fine.
murder. That's different, bro.
It's fine. I get it.
It's not like, yo, that was my friend
But
from high school.
It
like,
does sound like for example, we've all lost people. We probably lost some people that we're close to. But I just feel like maybe I'm looking at it differently. But I do feel like she has this like kind of wild obsession where she just can't refrain from speaking of them.
I disagree. I think I think with certain people, you ask them a question, they answer the question.
What about the letter that the daughter wrote?
That is weird too.
Talking about she wished that he was alive.
They said that she wrote that like she would like a letter to Pac about coming back so you can make my mom happy.
Yeah.
Which
What's that got to do with Jada?
no,
That's
It's
a
not-
whole
it's not
grown ass girl,
it's
right?
who
They almost 30 years old. They make their own decisions.
who
Willow.
no, the daughter was like 12.
I don't remember that.
She was a kid when she wrote that. It's like when she was like a kid.
Okay.
She's like a middle schooler.
So what is
Okay.
what is
That's
Jada
weird.
around her?
My son writes letters to like my mom and stuff like that, or his teachers.
Completely different. Completely different.
I'm not forcing my son to do that. My son
this
just
is also,
does it on his own
This is also a
volition.
child who never met Pac, who doesn't know who he
Okay.
is.
Son wrote a letter saying, "I wish your wife's ex-boyfriend was around to make her happy."
Yeah. So let's say
That was never a boyfriend. That was a brother.
yeah.
Well,
But,
That's y'all narrative.
They were
You see what
fucking.
I'm saying?
They were fucking.
They weren't.
I think they were fucking.
They weren't.
I'm pretty sure they
I
fucked.
feel like they weren't though, because Pac would
Even Pac said.
Pac would've
Even
said
Pac
he did.
acknowledged. I had feelings for Jada. Jada didn't see me like that. She never
be
saw
so.
him like that. It was like, you're bro.
Could be so.
Hey, that man got on the record and said, "Fuck you, bitch." He would have said he smashed down.
I still think I do think it's
Pac
a
would've said
weirdo
his-
thing.
He would've
Pac
said
would've
he
said his
smashed. He
piece,
didn't-
bro.
he didn't.
Let's say you had a lady best friend back in the day, real close a best friend,
Okay.
and your 10-year-old comes out because he hears you talk about this previous best friend you used to have back in the day,
Okay.
and it sounds like this person brings so much joy and happiness
I think
to
you're
your life.
answering your own question.
What do you mean?
If I'm talking about a best friend that I lost
Sure.
and the good times that we had, if a young person's mind can hear that story and see that I'm happy, and maybe at that moment I'm unhappy,
Sure.
and they write a letter, I don't see anything wrong with that.
but it makes you
That's kids type
it
behavior.
starts to make you wonder like how often is this person being spoken about? It's almost like if you hear more about this man more than your own dad.
I disagree.
No, I'm just saying in the event
Yeah, but kids
in
are-
the event that that's
Kids are
if
just
that's how it
kids
played
are just
out.
weird like that. Like I just had a cousin that probably talk about him all the time. I mean, it is what it is. They're not here anymore.
Well, that's where we differ.
I hate the way that you said
I
that.
think it's-
Differ,
Yeah, that's what.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I do think I owe for everything. That's some weirdo shit. But hey,
I just think kids do what kids do.
that's cool. But also, you gotta. I think this also contributes to. We also gotta watch about how we behave around our kids because there's certain things that like you don't want to. Kids are sponges, right? We all know that.
Yeah, but I don't see anything
You don't.
wrong with that.
Yeah, you're one person though. But a lot of people do think things like this.
But what you're
Including myself.
Okay, but what you're thinking about is this. Think about this. Put this in perspective. What you're talking about is a young kid heard a story, wrote a letter based on that, and you're like, well, you got to watch that based on public. Fuck people. We don't care what people think.
Is it one story? Or is it a constant conversation about one person?
That's for you
and
to
I'm not
muse
speaking
on.
about the masses. I'm thinking about if I'm a father and my child is wondering about another man from the past, that's weird to me.
Will had interactions with Pac.
That's fine.
When they got married.
That's fine.
They had conversations.
That's fine.
So
Don't
clearly it doesn't bother him. Not only did he know Pac.
These are also a different breed of people.
You know what I'm saying?
That we're talking about.
So he knew him. So I don't think it bothers him.
That's what I'm speaking about. Like for us, for example, like in my world, I would probably feel a little weirded out about that. Especially if my 10, 12-year-old is writing letters to a dead person.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have jealous tendencies?
No, it wouldn't be a jealous thing. I just think that I'm starting to consider like what is going on in our household that we're writing letters to a dead person. I think that'd be a little weird. My kid does not know who this person is, but he just continuously hears his mom talk about him.
Okay.
Which is fine. I'm not opposed to telling a story.
Let me tell you
about this story that happened with me back in the day with my best friend, so-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. But for your child to start to develop an understanding or the idea that like this person coming back in your life is not going to make you a happy person. Me as a husband, I'd be like, well, that kind of makes me feel away. Like why does another man need to be the one to bring happiness to my wife?
I would
kind of feel like that. I would assume if I was a married man.
I feel like that's Drake Point insecurity.
Wow, you're crazy.
Why would a child's letter make me feel a sort of way?
You didn't hear what I just asked you?
I heard.
Yeah, if my child felt like my mom is not happy and that there's one man who could bring happiness to her,
mm-hmm.
and I'm going to write a letter to him, that's a little strange to me.
As a husband? Why is mom not happy?
I don't know. I'm not in their household.
That's what you should worry about as a husband.
That's what the narrative's about.
As a husband,
but
that's what you should actually be worried about.
That's multiple concerns. Now I'm thinking like
this is the main concern.
Now I'm thinking, is my wife not happy? Like, what is the situation here? How did my kids now catch wind of this now to the point where they're writing letters?
Well,
it's a lot of things that I start to question.
Even before Will, Jada and Pac were public knowledge.
But that's not the point.
No, hold on. Jada and Pac were public knowledge. Pac is Tupac Shakur. This is Jada Pinkett Smith. So first of all, you're always going to see that.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as the unhappy thing, like it's not the. I just think in that situation you would be worried about the wrong thing. Like if I see that letter, I'm not thinking there's a weird obsession. I'm thinking, wait, she's unhappy?
Yeah.
You're worried about the wrong thing.
I'm thinking about all of it.
I would
as a whole.
I wouldn't. Think that's weird.
I would be a little bit concerned because
I expect kids to be kids in the situation. If there's something intuitive there, you would just be exposing something that maybe I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, but all of it comes together. It's what are we showing?
I'm not worried
our
about
children?
a dead guy.
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm worried about my own children. And my children are thinking, what are we presenting to our children?
There's another thing that you're not taking into part.
What's that?
Because they're unconventional people.
Sure.
Jada and Will's into shit that black people are like, yo, that shit's weird.
Of
Jada's
course.
in a fucking rock band. They're unconventional people.
Of course.
Naturally, their kids are unconventional kids.
Of course.
We all think their kids are weird.
Of course.
Because we don't understand their level of freedom.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's understandable.
So already when they were all like,
that's why we have to speak from our own perspective.
Yeah. So
if that was occurring in our own household.
Let's take, for example, the story that Will told. Willow, she had the song "I Whip My Hair."
Sure.
And she was on tour. Jay-Z sponsoring the tour.
Mm-hmm.
She don't want to go on the tour no more. And Will is like, no, you start something, you finish it. And then she goes in the room as a 11, 10-year-old and shaves her head. I don't know black kids that would do that. They're kids. Fuck you, bitch.
You would? What are you saying? Bro, you're so full of shit. Oh, my God.
Not as a girl.
How do you know? You don't know if you would have done that.
I might have done that. But most people are not. Most girls are not.
You don't have a vagina. You
going
just act
into
like
their
one.
room and cutting off all of their hair in order to end the tour. I literally can't whip my hair back and forth. Their kids are a little different.
That sounds like you don't want to cut my hair.
That's
I'm gonna
not
shave it off.
that's not too far off from what I've seen kids do.
What kids?
There's kids who have done that. Shit, even me
Shit.
growing up in school.
I don't understand that level of
There's
freedom.
there's kids their way of either making themselves feel better or to upset their folks more because they're upset is to do something against what their parents would
Not
be
like that. Not
against.
only to a certain extent.
Dude, I've seen the kids do the head shave. I've seen the kids do like the random hair color, whatever it is. And
In your teens, okay.
things that their parents would
I
be
hear you,
against.
tattoos and stuff like that. Sure.
Yeah, like let's say your parents are anti-tattoo and you go get a tattoo at age 16 somehow.
an average 10-year-old black girl is not thinking like that.
We don't know that.
I know that.
No, we don't, because I've seen some kids do some crazy shit.
I know that.
I've seen
Not
young
only
kids
was
do
I
crazy
raised around,
shit.
but I work with children exclusively that go through. They're not doing
Understandable.
that.
But somebody is. Somebody's doing something somewhere.
But that's my point. These are a different type of kid.
yeah.
They do different things.
You don't got to be at their. You don't got to have their status to be able to do some crazy shit. We know that.
and they absorb. Maybe I was telling a story to a friend of mine,
Sure.
and they absorb that, come up with their own interpretation, and do some. You know, our kids will say some shit at inappropriate times. And you're
Always.
like, what the fuck
Always.
is that shit about?
It's almost like you want to slap them too. Like,
They'll
oh,
be
shut the fuck up.
Where did you get that from? That was
Yeah.
not even part of our conversation. What are you talking? I'm like that with my son all the time. I'm talking
Yeah.
to my wife, and he starts trying to like, first of all, grown folks are talking. We're not even talking to you. And second of all, what are you talking about?
Oh, that's one of the biggest things that irks me though. Like when the kids start to jump in
Yeah.
and they're not even making sense.
My son is a master at that.
Oh God, man.
So maybe I'm
It's
talking
irritating.
to him. So maybe we should do it. So maybe you shouldn't do that then and think about mom. Like, nigga, what are you talking about? We're not even talking to you. Where'd that come from?
Hey, baby, if you were nicer, not
Yeah.
a fuck up.
So you can't put
Yeah.
put too much into that shit, dog.
Nah, I hear that. All right, no. One thing I want to talk about. Branching away from this subject matter.
Mhm.
What's gonna happen with our man Diddy, man?
Nothing.
You don't think something's gonna happen?
No.
I like how 50 was like, you better lawyer up.
Let me tell you about this shit, bro.
Go ahead. Because I know you probably got a lot more.
This shit was never a mystery. Like niggas that was always like, yeah, and Tupac and Biggie were assassinated by the government. Like, no, they weren't. Niggas that knew was like, we knew it was Baby Lane, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Baby Lane was the shooter. And they're like, oh, it was Diddy. No. The only contact that Diddy had with Keefe D was coming into LA.
Mm-hmm.
You need protection.
Yeah.
And a person offers you protection,
Yeah.
but wants dough for it or extra shit for it, right? And then you're not giving them what they want, and they're going down. So why not drag my name in the mud? You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
If you look at who killed Big, because that case is solved. These
Sure.
are former cops, an actual hitman. A certain amount of money buys you professionalism.
Of course.
Suge and them wasn't buying gangbangers to kill Big in them. They involved former police
Mm-hmm.
and hitmen. You know what I'm saying?
Professionals.
So if somebody wanted to get somebody killed with that kind of money and don't want it leading up to them, don't trust gang members.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Basically what happened was Baby Lane been had beef with niggas from Death Row. Everybody was in Nevada. They saw each other. They had a
And
scuffle.
shit happened.
Shit happens. But not only that, if you're Tupac and Suge Knight, you can't stomp a nigga out and then everybody else knows that you're going to be at Club 662 hosting an after party.
Yeah, that's true.
We know where you're going to be.
Somebody's gonna do something.
You don't think you don't think we're not coming?
Pause.
The problem is, The problem is when them niggas regrouped, they saw Pac and them early.
Mm.
They was going to catch him at 662. Keefe D already said that. We already know where you're going to be at the after party. You host an after party. We're going to catch you at 662.
Yeah.
When they regrouped, they hear all this yelling and shit. It's Pac and them taking pictures with girls. They caught him early.
Yeah.
They caught him slipping.
It happens all the time.
Pac died. Unfortunately, Pac was a revolutionary-minded icon forever, but he died like a gang member.
Yeah.
He went backwards. Wasn't no organized hit. It was an organized hit on Big. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't no organized hit
I would.
It had to be some great revelation, but if you look at, you could see people in action. You go back to the Source Awards, and when Suge said what he said, watch Puff's reaction. Niggas didn't want no problems. When Pac went on his tirade, watch Big's reaction. Big didn't come back at him.
No concern.
He was like, it'll blow over.
Yeah.
These are how these people thought. Those are the niggas that are hiring Crips to kill these. Fuck out of here, bro. I think Keefy D he ran his mouth. He thought Statue of Libertation. He's doing all these goddamn Vlad interviews and laughing about it. And hey, I can't be touched. Surprise. Yeah. Surprise.
Now look at you.
Now look at you. Now you going down for the shit. But baby, everybody that was in the car is dead. But you the last man standing. So now he's just dragging everything with him.
Pay the price. Yeah.
I did something for a very rich person one time, and I never felt like they gave me my just due. Now I'm going down and I have nobody. I still did that thing for that very rich person.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if I keep screaming their name, they'll throw some dough at me and help me out. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where we're at this point.
That's fair.
So
I think I always had the curiosity and wonder of what it would be like if certain artists, especially of that caliber, like a Pac, a Biggie, a lot of these guys, right? Even Nip. I wonder how it would be like they never got murdered, never died. Like where would their careers be at? Like those are things that I like to wonder, because especially like how iconic you are, and to be spoken about 20 plus years later, it's like, look at the fucking impact. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people have impacts, but how many people have longevity impacts of that sort? You know what I mean? I would just wonder, like, if it would have just progressed and progressed and progressed.
For sure, especially Nip.
Yeah.
Pac, I'm not really sure because there was just so many dimensions to him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Pac lives to an old age.
That part I can agree with, yeah.
Big, I think Big would have had his run, and then he just would have been a boss in something.
You think he would have had like somewhat of a Fat Joe career?
No.
Or bigger?
No, he definitely would have had a. He definitely would have had. He just would have. It would have been Jay-Z-ish.
But I mean, like we're like kind of how he had his like run. He was very active, and then now he's like not really. Like, you don't see him in the music scene, but he's doing things.
Even at 25, you can already see where his, like, because he died at 25.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see where his life was headed. He had a 2-album huge run.
Sure.
And then towards the end of his life, he was trying to put C's on. He was trying to put Junior Mafia on. He was trying to sign Cameron. He was trying to sign Jay-Z. He was already getting in the mode of
business,
transitioning out of rap and signing artists. And he would have been super successful because Jay-Z, Cameron.
Can you imagine?
Kim.
But could you imagine?
He did, he would have been on a Jay-Z run. I think he would have transitioned out of rap early and would have made boss moves. I think that's where he went. I think he would have had his run, and then he would have transitioned because he would have saw, here's where the money's at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, I don't want to get too deep into this question, but there's always the argument of the best of the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to like rappers and hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And are you one of those who do you have to have a large catalog, longevity to be considered a best?
I think it's only okay. If I'm having a conversation with somebody about the greatest stand-up, who we think the greatest stand-ups are, like comedians, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
If you say Eddie Murphy, I'm not having that conversation with you no more.
Yeah, no, that
he only had two specials,
and I think, and it's no disrespect to anybody who considers Big as like their favorite rapper or the best rapper of all time, but
he can't be the best. He can be in the top 5.
Some people will
he's
try
in
to
my
argue
top
that.
5.
Some people will try to argue, right?
But he's not the best.
But some people will try to argue, just like and sometimes I try to take into consideration what top comedians feel is the best, right? Because like how you said, if somebody tries to argue that Eddie Murphy is best of all time,
you can't.
You're not going to argue that, right?
We're not even having a conversation. Hold on. You don't know what you're talking about.
But then when you talk to the likes of a Dave Chappelle, a Kevin Hart, all these people who hang out with Eddie Murphy, they're always like, yo, this guy is like the greatest. And in their mind, he's like the funniest guy in the room.
They're not saying stand up.
No. But I'm just saying, in general,
And they'd be right.
When these people are kind of like looking up, like, this guy's the funniest
As a
guy,
comedian,
then
when
we
you
know.
look at Eddie Murphy, in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
his success as a stand up, and I don't think people understand what he was. They don't understand what before he even got into movies, what Eddie Murphy was. He was a fucking sensation. Before he was 22 years old, he was the blueprint. There is a whole generation of comedians back then who would go to an interview and everybody in Hollywood says, I'm looking for an Eddie Murphy type. You couldn't even get into movies. There was only one black guy allowed at a time. And if you're not Eddie, you're just shit out of luck.
Yeah.
He was that. And then he got into movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then just...
Imagine you're already that.
Yeah.
And you hadn't even really started. That is insane.
They don't even understand what he was a fucking... All of those, his big moments, like The Raw.
Yeah.
He was like 20 years old. He was like 19 years old.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like it. He seems
still.
like he's 27.
Yeah.
He was only 19, 20 years old at that point. He hadn't even been in movies yet.
Yeah, that's
and
insane.
then when he got in movies, just he
blew
was
the fuck up.
$20 million, $40 million man. We ain't never seen nothing like that. So on a grand scheme of things, and if you talk to him now, he's just the most grounded. It's like he has no idea of who he is.
I would love to pick his brain.
He's funny, man.
I wouldn't even want to talk. I would just want to sit there and listen.
So out of the loop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He just
not even in the
likes
scene
to
at
be
all.
around the house.
And yet people just I'll forever love him.
So back to the subject, it's like the guy had 2 specials. One of them was good.
Yeah.
He can't be the greatest stand-up.
Yeah.
You got to be...
He could be one of the funniest guys ever.
He could be one of the funniest guys ever.
Yeah.
That's a different conversation.
But yeah, you're right.
So if
Stand-up
we're
is a different
talking
art.
Big, right?
Mm-hmm.
What he contributed, what he did, even with 2 albums, he can be in the top 5. And he is in my top 5. I think he should be in everybody's top 5 for what he did while he was alive. But can he be number 1? He just didn't make enough material to be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Even Kendrick Lamar has got about 5, and 4 of them are classic, if not a masterpiece. He's winning Pulitzer. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just don't. Some of these guys have 30-year careers. 2 albums can't be, you know what I'm saying?
That's not enough.
It's just not feasible. To be in the top 5, he did enough. Pac is he's like the Bruce Lee of hip hop. He can't lose. He's forever young. He forever stands for something even bigger than the music.
Mm-hmm.
You're dealing with a different force. You can't just look at Pop and think rap.
There was much more to him than that.
Much bigger than that. So
that's why I think the curiosity builds on what could have been.
Yeah, it's not feasible to put those guys at number 1. It's not. You can't.
Yeah. But it does, like I said, I will always be curious on what could have transpired if they had continued to live. You know what I'm saying?
I think you just celebrate what they did contribute. I always just wow at the fact that if niggas died at 24 and 25.
Crazy.
They ain't even knowing themselves yet. Look what they did without knowing yourself.
You know, I'm pretty sure they, like, for the time they were there and being successful, like, yes, they were probably living some lavish lives and this and that, but it's like, man, you didn't really get to live. Like, I would just look at it now, like 25, 30 years old, you haven't lived a life yet.
Dog, there is a reason.
Full life.
There is a reason that there's such thing as a 27 club. Because at about 25, you wake up.
Or you should start to.
Yeah. 26 for sure, you look at yourself and go, what am I?
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of people, they may not like what they see.
It's true.
They've accomplished a lot. And maybe when they come to consciousness, what does it fucking mean? You've been to that point where you wanted something so bad, and then when you got it, it's just like, oh, that was it, huh?
It wasn't as special.
Yeah. I thought it was like, I've prepared for this. And then when you get it, you're like, the next day is just like nothing. It was like, oh.
Yeah, that was then.
So I can imagine being, and then if you're dealing with something like if you got an addiction on top of that, You're going to be a Kurt Cobain, a Jimi Hendrix, a Janis Joplin. You're just not happy.
Yeah.
So they didn't even get a chance to get to the awakening. They didn't get over
They didn't hit
wall.
the 27 club.
They never even got there. The shit that Pac and them accomplished at that young of age is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think, you know, at the end of the day, like whenever we do see like the successors here, right? People succeeding in what they do, I'm just like, you never want them to pass because there's
No.
so much that they can do. You know, like even like look at the actors that we've grown up watching, like the De Niro's of the world,
Mhm.
the shit, even the Jack Nicholsons, everybody, right? And look where they're at now. Like,
Yeah.
they've lived a long life, but now they're at the. It's like they're coming towards the end, like,
Yeah.
little by
Twilight.
little. And it's kind of like when we grew up, they were still young, right?
Somewhat.
To an I mean, obviously a
Because
lot younger looking.
Morgan Freeman was 60 when I was born.
Morgan Freeman
And I'm
has
40,
looked the same
so.
age. Yo, Morgan Freeman has looked 60 for 100 years.
Even in the 70s, when you see pictures of him in the 70s when he's young with the fro and shit, he look a good 40.
What's the movie where he's a pimp? Where he slapped,
Oh,
Yo.
that was in 82.
he slapped the shit out
Yo,
was
how,
82.
how old is Morgan Freeman now?
80 something.
But he still looked the same.
And
That's from
cognitive
when I was
too.
a kid.
Cognitive too.
He smokes.
That's crazy.
He does more than smoke.
He cheats. Heavy.
He does more than that.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
He's still out there banging Asian girls and shit.
And reading comics.
Damn. Morgan Freeman's a legend.
Legendary.
He might be one of the ultimate, most legendary people ever.
For sure.
It's gonna be heartbreak when some of these iconic legends that we grew up on start to pass.
Will it though?
I think for me, yeah. When you have a childhood
It
attachment,
should. Like when I'm watching icons pass and I watch the reaction to it, it's like, do they not know who this motherfucker was?
that's what I think though. I think like for example, like the day that Robert De Niro passes, I'm gonna be like, damn, bro. All I'm gonna do is flashback to everything that I know had to do with this man. You know, from his seriousness and
Mhm.
like the Goodfellas movies to his comedic performances. You know, like dude was fucking funny.
I think all you can ask for, and I think that's all I dream about is you want the day that you pass for everything to stop for just a little bit. Just a little bit. Like when Muhammad Ali, that was my idol. When he died,
Mhm.
everything stopped.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for at least a day. Everything stopped. When Mike died, Michael Jackson, Prince. Did
Yeah,
everything stop? Did it feel like everything stopped when Whitney passed? It should have, but
no,
did it?
I mean,
it didn't. It didn't feel like that.
I just feel like there was a lot of
I
a
feel-
lot of stars where everything should have just stopped for just
To
a second.
separate those few individuals though, like Whitney, Michael, I feel like it didn't completely stop when Michael passed either because I think they were already trying to tarnish him. Like there was this whole narrative, right? And a lot of people
Yeah.
started to look at him.
But
but I'm just answering the part about how like you said everything you would like for it to stop.
no, but even
And I
even
feel like
then,
in that
that's the
sense-
conversation. Like everything stops and everybody's now what they focused on when they did stop
Was the
is
wrong-
disappointing.
Yeah, that's the part that sucks.
But what can you do when you lived? It's crazy to think that he died at 50. 50's fucking young.
Yeah.
You would feel like Mike was much older than that because he had been in the spotlight for so
Since a
long.
child.
You thought he was older than that. He was only 50.
Yeah.
Nas is 50.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It's just because he had been around for
Forever.
but he was really young, actually.
Like this dude was already like they were building him to be a star since he was a little boy.
He was really young.
You know, I do think that you know, as iconic and amazing and you know, and memorable as Michael Jackson was, I do think back to like his upbringing, like childhood.
Mhm.
I'm just like, that he never really got to. He never lived an actual childhood,
No.
like a normal childhood, I guess
No,
you could
no.
say. And that to me was a bit unfortunate, even though maybe getting built that way led to your success later. But it's like he kind of got to let kids be kids.
But his situation is he was a sensation back then as a kid, but no more than the Monkeys and the Cassidys and stuff like that. It was like, once he got to Thriller stages and what have you, the reason he didn't have a childhood is because of tours and stuff like that. It
Sure.
interrupted school and natural interactions. So you don't get to understand what it means to be a kid with other kids. You're learning how to do media and deal with other professionals and, you know what I'm saying? Make
Yeah.
business deals and stuff like that. You missed that part. What really happens is after he drops Thriller, you're reaching a level of fame that has not been seen before. And I don't think anybody can understand it.
Crazy level.
When there is 75,000 people
Mm-hmm.
that are outside of your hotel, not because you are having a show, but because you exist in that hotel, it's something different. And they're not just coming to get a glimpse out of you. You just exist in that hotel, and that's enough for them to be gathered out there for hours.
Yeah.
You're not even coming outside, and they're not leaving. We don't understand that.
Yeah.
Needing military transportation, not cops. They need to organize the military when you come in the country for little old you. People don't understand that. Nobody's ever seen that level. You know what I'm saying? Even Muhammad Ali would laugh and he'd just be like, watch me. I can go in that middle street and I'm going to stop this city.
Yeah.
And he would. He'd walk out in the middle of a street and everything would stop. But
That's always been amazing to me, though.
he wasn't in danger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
People just flock to him.
They just flocked to him and they loved him. He wasn't in danger.
It's so crazy how certain stars, global icons, right,
Mhm.
can just stop everything without saying a word.
It's uncomfortable, bro.
It's mind blowing, though.
It's uncomfortable.
I'm sure.
It's scary.
Yeah.
To this point now, it's like,
It's like look how much power you have, like in the palm of your hand, basically.
just imagine. I think the average nigga that has a lot to say. Let's make you semi to be famous, right? To be famous to the point where you're going to a grocery store and people are just walking up and taking pictures of you, and you go, "Hey, chill out with that shit."
Yeah.
They'll walk up to you and they'll take a selfie without asking, and you're like, "Yo, chill out with that shit."
Yeah, back up.
They're not asking you for pictures. They're doing what they fucking want because they can, because you're famous. I give you a day before it's like, yo, this is a fucking
Nightmare.
bro. I remember when I was in the military and we had to go to a different city and stuff like that, TDY or something like that. Try being in your uniform in the airport.
I could only
Everybody's walking up to you and everybody wants to shake your hand and thank you for your service.
Of
To the
course.
point where I'm just like, I got to get out of it.
Give
I
me
went
some
in there
space.
and I took off my uniform.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of putting sanitizer on my hand because I'm shaking so many fucking hands.
Hands dried out.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you needed
It's
to
uncomfortable.
moisturize
I'm
your
getting
hands.
tired of this shit. I ain't even made it to the terminal. I had to go and take off my damn uniform.
Hey man, he ducked the moisturized part. You just needed some moisture, dog.
You understand? It's gotta have that after set.
Yeah, you got to. You got to. It's like that refreshment right there.
Nah, man. I think you should get to be famous and give you a week before you knock a nigga out, and then you get sued for knocking a nigga out because he's like, I've got a right.
And now you're the bad guy.
Imagine going to Walmart and paparazzi's out there in front of your car taking pictures.
Paparazzi at Walmart is
Now,
nasty.
I gotta go home, but I can't pull out because paparazzi wants to take pictures.
Hey, yo.
They'll be like, hey, yo, get the fuck out the way. We can take pictures if we want.
Yeah.
I can't run over them. I can't smack the camera down or that's $1 million lawsuit. What if my wife and my kids are in the car? I give you a week of that before you're like, no, thank you.
It's unfortunate you can't live a normal life.
Let paparazzi camp outside your house for a week.
Yeah, you can't
Just
live
taking pictures of your
you
house.
can't live a normal
I'll
life.
fuck you up, bro.
Yeah, you wish you could.
And then I'm going to have to eat a lawsuit.
But at that status, yeah, you can't do it.
You don't even understand where some of these guys, bro, like all praises due to Bow Wow.
Why?
I was around for that. One time I had to open up for Bow Wow, right? When he was down here.
Oh, you mean when he was like
Yeah,
active?
when he was Bow Wow.
Yeah,
This was years ago.
sure.
Man, I remember when Bow Wow came on stage. Freeman Coliseum.
Was this pre-Tokyo Drift?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember when Bow Wow came on stage. the sheer wind of the screams.
Oh,
you
I'm
could
sure.
feel the wind. I'm backstage and it's like when he comes out on stage and the girls start screaming, it's like the wind of the screams. And I'm backstage and I'm like, fuck. Imagine dealing with that shit and the hot lights. It's crazy. And he did all of those Scream tours that launched all of those careers.
Yep.
And he had been doing it for so many people. He's responsible for so many people. The fact that even now, as dumb as he is, he's still grounded, still funny and cool. Like the shit that he accomplished I saw that shit.
No, I don't
To
think,
live like that is crazy.
I think to be realistic, you can't take away a success from a Bow Wow. Not even.
There's no way.
Even
Soulja Boy.
Even I was gonna say
They
even somebody of a
pioneered
Soulja
some
Boy.
shit, bro.
Yeah,
they don't get credit for.
No matter how you look at them today, they were making noise. They were shaking the earth for a little while.
If you take them two cats away, you're taking a lot of people with them.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of, these Chris Browns and shit, you don't have them. Not without Bow Wow.
That's fair.
That Scream tour was like, they launched so many fucking careers with
it
that.
is crazy how many of these artists are responsible for a lot of people's favorites.
It's crazy. Like his legacy, when you actually look at it, is fucking crazy. But he's never going to get, because he does a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah.
But it was like he's responsible for a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
I always wonder, man, and I get it, growing up, like I said, a lot of these artists or even actors, whoever, they skip that phase of, like the childhood. So I feel like they start to do a lot of like childhood dumb shit in their 20s.
They don't know no better.
Remember when Bieber was like doing the dumbass fucking car shit in the neighborhoods or whatever?
That's another type of famous.
And I was
that
all like,
Bieber famous.
And look how famous he was at that age when he was doing dumb shit.
Bro. That's another thing I couldn't get used to.
Bieber before or after the Ludacris feature?
After. I couldn't imagine. Every time I go in public, people cry. When they see you.
For the Beeb?
But just, can you imagine, like, okay, maybe the first couple times you're like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But after about 3 years of every time I come in contact with humans, they shake and cry.
Yeah.
It's just like
that kind of reaction.
Yeah, after a while, it's just like,
it's nuts.
Yo, this is kind of weird. It's weird, bro.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
I could imagine. But not only that, like, it's cool to visualize that when you don't have it. Because, people, a lot of people want to be famous. They want to be famous because the riches come with that, right? So they want this and they dream of having this. And it's like, these people who have it already don't want this.
They don't want it.
The riches are great, but do you want the fame that comes with it? Not really.
The first time you get that story written about you that's completely untrue, people just make shit up about you, and then the whole world runs with it, and you're like, what the fuck?
Like when that happened?
Are you talking about?
Yeah.
But now everybody runs with it.
Yep.
And it's like, that's not fair. Like, I never even talked to this person. How can they just make up something about me and then the whole world jumps on it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Imagine being Chingy.
Imagine being Bow Wow. The rumor about him was pretty bad when I was a kid.
Which rumor?
The ape situation.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know either.
There was a rumor that he had been
The Bow Wow was molested by. Oh, I mean,
the Chingy thing with the transvestite.
That could have been true though.
yeah.
It wasn't. She came out and said
This didn't happen.
that she lied. She was just trying to get famous. But his career's over.
No, but look, but that's what
His career's over because of that one little lie.
We know time and time again how many times a rumor has tarnished somebody's career.
Yeah, but that's
Or
imagine that person with
it's
the
like,
career.
No, but
We
it's-
never think about them.
No, but it's like no, of course. I mean,
it's like
we do.
Imagine being Chingy with like, I was on a run. This person wanted to be famous, so they just made up something about me, and now my career is over. And then they come back and be like, "Oh, sorry."
But it's like what happens to some people who are not even people who are not famous. For example, like if somebody accuses you of sexual assault and it goes public in your city, what has just happened to you in your career? Most likely,
True.
Depending on your profession too.
But that can be rescinded. But what if
But not
what
for
if I
some-
get
some people,
accused of
their
something
life is
and then I got to
over.
register as a sex offender off a lie?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
though.
crazy.
If it gets to that point where now you're walking around with your sex offender card and you're in the system and people know.
Yeah, but we're speaking specifically of fame, though.
No, but I'm saying even for somebody like a small regular person,
Mm-hmm.
their life could be over. Just like Chingy's life was over off something that was a lie.
Yep.
And now, just like a civilian, normal person, their life could be over because of a lie.
That's
And it's insane that
it's
like
insane. And as a celebrity, you're helpless.
yeah, what can you do? And even if somebody like they come out and they admit, oh, I made it up,
It don't matter.
the damage was done already.
Because you let that shit run. Yeah, you let that shit done. The damages everybody thinks are like this. You let years go, and then you come back and say, I lied. I just wanted to be famous on a smaller platform. But guess what? Even if I wanted to revive my career, times and trends of music has changed. My sound no longer works anymore.
I'm behind.
You fucking
Yeah.
ended my career on a lie just because I was a celebrity. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't think people going. You don't really want it.
It's so crazy what people will do. They're savages. You know, not only that though, but let's say he was into that.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, of course, and this is obvious, I can only speak from my perspective. I don't give a fuck what you got going on
Mhm.
behind the scenes. Are you making good music? Just that's all I care about, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you're into, what you're into. It's fine. I can understand why people like, for example, Kevin Gates fans. They love Kevin Gates, right? They like, but what is it? No, but listen. Why did every time I just go, man, yo, he a weirdo, yo, and then people are like, oh, but he makes good music. I only care about music. I don't care about what he got going on
That
in
shit
life.
crazy.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I was like, yeah, because you're a fan of his sound, of what he presents on music. But if there's another artist that you're not a fan of and they got something crazy going on, you're bashing them because you're not a fan of their music. But like I said, because they're a fan of Kevin Gates' music,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what the fuck he got going on. No matter how public it is, this dude's doing all kind of wild
See,
shit.
that's why I can't personally say that I don't care about what you do as long as I can't say that.
because you do to an extent.
I do to an extent. Like you could name such and such. Like I don't care what you do in your fucking. As long as you're not as long as you're not an R. Kelly, you like what you like.
Mhm.
But in other areas like a 6ix9ine, no.
Like that's bothersome to you.
Yeah, that's bothersome to me.
Yeah. That's why I always say like
them letting him go is
Yeah.
a problem for me.
no, I thought that was crazy. But like I could understand why people like, especially when he first blew up, first came on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, he's doing music that people are they can rock out to right now.
I understood it.
I get it.
When
These
it first
songs,
came, yeah.
they actually don't sound bad. They don't. I can see why people vibe to this shit.
But when he came out, it was a wave.
It's a good party.
It was
music.
him. It was
Yeah.
Casanova. It was it was a wave of that sound. So it made perfect sense.
So yeah, it made sense at the time, right? Maybe not so much today, but a lot of today, his lack of success now was because of a lot of things that transpired. You know, not only that, but I mean, even the records he
I
had.
think he got big.
You know,
he just made trash
the,
music.
the only thing I could thank 6ix9ine for is for putting Nicki in the videos looking like that.
Nikki was gonna put herself in there, but
I know, but
did
that shit there,
appreciate that.
it was
particular
very.
video.
I
Yeah.
appreciated
I
that.
did
I was like,
appreciate
yo,
that.
she was fire.
Yeah,
I
she
liked
looked
it.
uncomfortable, but she looked fire.
I don't think she looked uncomfortable at all.
No,
I
I'm
think she
just
was-
saying, like Nikki's body after a while is just, damn, that looks uncomfortable.
Oh, the actual physical
Yeah.
of herself. Oh, thought you meant,
They look like they can't bend.
bro. This is. We'll get to this brief before we get into
It
crushing,
feels like you need the oil from the Wizard of Oz and shit. Oil.
bro. The how'd you say this? How far some of these beautiful women that we know of
Mm-hmm.
that are continuously customizing their bodies, right? And I'm like, look how you're turning out. Like the fact that you can't run.
I just laugh because it's like all of that shit
Yeah, it's like a struggle to sit down.
is a person with no fucking awareness.
Yeah.
And when I say that, it's like your only mind is for the, like I can tell where your awareness at. Your only mind is for the right now.
Yeah.
Like my nigga, you'll be 42 before you know it.
Mhm.
And then 52 before you know it. You're still gonna have that body.
Yeah.
Your body gets worse. Like it deteriorates. Like it's gonna be weird for you.
Yeah, your body doesn't naturally improve.
You thinking like this, you're gonna be in your 20s and your 30s forever.
Yeah.
All of this shit is gonna get weird
Real soon.
real soon.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
You're thinking for the now. You got no fucking awareness, bro.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, man.
It's unfortunate, bro.
Yeah, like
To be that centered minded. Like this nigga ain't got no awareness.
at all. At all, man. It's tragic. Very tragic.
Looks good though sometimes.
Yeah.
Cause sometimes SZA looks good and sometimes she looks terrible.
It looks good for the moment, maybe.
Sometimes depending on what she's
And then you
wearing.
got to realize, then you see her walk.
She looks uncomfortable, bro.
I think they get used to it though.
And Doja looks like an amoeba. Cause you never know what she's gonna be. Body wise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause when she came
I do miss the era of all natural.
peak Doja is that Juicy video. Good gracious, them legs.
Do-
that
Doja-
ass, and then
Doja
she
was
lost
cute.
all of that weight.
Doja was cute.
Yeah. Even the Need to Know video.
Yeah.
And now she's somewhere else body wise, but it's like the problem is you're aging and you're losing that massive amount of weight. So we see it in the boobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's not looking.
Proportioned.
It's not. It's looking weird. Like you still got somewhat your legs, because her legs she had big legs.
Yeah.
And I loved them.
I loved them.
I loved them so much, especially. She had me feeling like the 40s. Remember in the 40s and shit where all they was look at them gams when they were like all they focused on were legs and shit.
Yeah.
That's weird, bro.
And a little bit.
That's because women were mostly in heels all the time.
Like in the 90s, like if we talk about what was the thing as we went from like the 90s to now.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, like there was like that idea of like, oh, in California, the tall, skinny girls, the tall, skinny white girls was like that's what you
the
had
California
to,
look.
That's what you went after, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Yasmin Bleeth.
as we moved into the 2000s, that's when like the thicker women started to kind of jump into the scene.
Well,
but it was still a lot of
the
natural.
The starting point for thick was J-Lo and Beyonce. The combination of those two.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's when it started. Because back when I used to like thick girls, they were considered fat.
Like what? Like what fat?
They would consider them fat.
Oh, back then.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, I can see that.
They were like, nah, they're
Like
chubby. It was like,
they were
they're not really.
They were too
It was
thick.
hard to describe. It was like they're not fat. They're chubby. They're not. It's an in between because they still have curves. It's just
They look well
they're
fed.
like, no, well, they're not like Janet Jackson. And then you found a definition. Thick became the definition of that. So
No, I mean I think
and then white people got it with Kim Kardashian. That was their starting point.
that I never thought she was the greatest.
She wasn't.
Yeah, I think she was hot. She had her moments of being super attractive. But
She was exotic for them.
Yeah,
And she was super curvaceous in a way that they hadn't seen.
yeah,
So she was their one.
that's fair. I just think like at the end of the day, like whatever your preference is great. But I just hope that like women, we know you do these augmentations for yourself.
Yeah.
We're not feeling it, and we feel bad for you
We're
sometimes.
much simpler.
And like you said,
Much simpler.
You
than
said this
anything.
in past episodes. We understand you have children, and the certain parts of your body might start to
For sure.
they might need some more.
But see,
we get it.
but what I said was I was like, that's earned surgery. I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
Had 2, 3, 4 kids, and you want to get a lift or you want to get in, you earned that.
yeah.
You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying?
I agree with that. It's
If
unfortunate.
it's just I'm trying to keep up with what people think because I'm famous, like
and it's what's in right now, apparently.
within certain cultures, stripper culture and
Yeah.
Instagram and all of that stuff.
I
Like
don't know. I'm team like let's bring some of the natural back. I love being natural. I don't need a perfection.
I don't think most guys do.
No, we don't.
I think the more you give us, the more we'll like visually.
It's a cool little fantasy for the
visually,
videos.
yeah. But really, we don't.
They got AI for that now, right?
Yeah.
You don't even gotta fuck your body up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Sooner or later, porn's gonna be out because niggas just gonna be beating off the AI pictures.
Yo, that's wild. That would be wild. They'd be like, yo, we're not even beating off to like real women no more.
I'm like, we don't need any more scenes. We've got a
We got it made.
We've
We done gone digital.
we've got a new session earlier with Sonya Blaze and one of the robots from Dragon Ball Z.
That's crazy, yo.
We won't be needing your services there, Pinky.
But you had a good run.
Yeah.
You'll still receive benefits next 5 months.
Jessica Rabbit is doing a solo video at 7:00. We don't need you.
A solo, wow.
Like from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Like, yeah.
That's insane, man. Oh, so let's get to these questions, man, because I'm hungry. You setting it off? I was thinking we are getting close to Halloween. Should we lean into horror movie actresses, maybe? Or you're not a horror movie fan?
I like horror movies.
Before we get there, then, what type of horror movies is Kai Phoenix into?
I like the horror that most people don't like. I like the spiritual ones.
Explain.
The demonic ones that deal with spiritual people don't like. Black people in specific don't like that shit because they think they playing with something that shouldn't be played with.
Yeah, I know.
I like that
I know
shit.
that.
That's the shit I like.
So like any demonic films.
Sure, like exorcisms and demonic shit that deals with religion and what have you.
I know a lot of people are fearful because, of course, the whole
They
idea
feel like,
of
they're tapping in some shit that should not be tapped into.
This really happens, you know. I mean, that not to say that's not possible. I'm pretty sure that could be possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna like X something out, right? But I don't believe in the idea that if you watch a movie that you're bringing the spirits into your house. I don't believe that.
There's so much more. If you were bringing anything in, that could be brought in. So no, I don't believe in that at all. But I'm not in a belief in all of that shit either. It's just
you're atheist.
I'm not. I'm not an atheist. But yeah,
I think IQ called me an atheist once.
You're not?
No, what are you saying? I believe in a higher power.
I'm agnostic. But I think it is self-centered to think that you know the absolute answer.
Of course.
You don't have it's the same thing with aliens. You have no fucking clue. So you just call a spade a spade. You don't have no clue. But that goes for acting like there isn't and acting like there is.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
At all.
So you could just say, you just don't know.
But it's too hard for people to say that.
No, because I understand that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants this to be it. I don't want this to be it. I don't feel like this is it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something else after this. You don't know what it is. And it's okay to say you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
When you get into there's mansions of gold, streets of gold, and mansions untold, and you don't know.
Yeah, at all.
That's
unfortunately.
You know what I'm saying? So
I never had a problem. Like, you know, there's people who always try to go and say like when they don't know something, but they try to like come close. Like, no, just admit that not everybody has to be knowledgeable on everything, but you can figure it out. I'd rather you try to figure it out than to look stupid.
Religion historically, if you go way, eons and eons.
Yeah.
Religion was a way to explain the unexplainable.
Sure.
For, all the way back then, if they didn't understand what was going on. Well, the wind is a woman, and she gets angry and they make up, ways to explain things that is unexplainable at that point in time.
Of course.
And it just continued for generations and generations and generations.
That's fair.
In my opinion, based on information. So I'll do with that as you will. So I don't know anybody from
horror films
that I would crush on. You go first.
I got a few. I'm gonna do a throwback though, from one of my favorite Halloween Michael Myers films.
Mm-hmm.
What year did it come out? Fucking when they had a little boy first, where he kills his sister. It was like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. You know what I'm talking about? The boy who did like the phenomenal like acting at the beginning.
Yeah, I
Look, like,
I know who you're talking about.
forgot. Let me see what year that was. But anyway, one of the actresses in there, she's one of the friends, Danielle Harris. She was fire back then. So I'm gonna do. Well, you'd probably have to look.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got one. But
bro. I was crushing on that girl. Tough.
Who you got?
Sarah Michelle Gellar. Buffy.
Buffy.
The most plainest of the plain.
Maybe he liked playing girls.
Been in that plane. She was whooping ass, but she was plain.
She was too plain for
You
your
know
taste?
who was? You know who was the better looking version of her?
Who?
You remember what was Xena's sidekick, the blonde? She was a better looking version, and she was thicker.
She was thicker, but she didn't look better. In the face, she-
Crazy.
Hey man.
You asked me, what's yours, Negro?
You're gonna have to get racial.
Oh yeah, no. Hey, Kai hasn't been racial all episode.
Come on, man.
That's
This
why
is
I hit him-
record breaking.
Not said
That's why I
anything.
hit him with Negro and not the hard ER.
Oh,
I remember
I see what you did there.
I remember her stealing the fucking scenes. Remember when Blade came out and Sanaa Lathan was in it?
Blade.
She was his mama.
Yeah. Sanaa Lathan will always, there's that group of Nia Long and Sanaa and Gabby.
Why somebody can't keep a man?
Why she gotta? Why can't it be my turn next?
hey, why can't she stay on the market?
Yeah, why can't it be my turn next? A better question is why can't Nia? But I don't give a fuck because I'll take her at any point in time.
I love Nia.
Hallie took the worst deal. She got to pay two niggas $400 million.
Yo, why they do my girl Hallie like that?
Hallie is, you already know how I feel about Hallie. If everybody beats and cheats on you, I don't know.
Yo,
I don't know if they're the
Stop
problem.
it.
I don't know if they're the problem. Everybody,
Stop.
everybody,
I still want to be inside.
everybody.
Yeah, I'll join them
Of what? Beating or cheating?
on the list. I want to be on the list.
She's got to pay two guys $400 million.
No, $400 million altogether. $200 million each.
Jesus Christ.
There's something wrong with that box, bro.
Like over how long period of time?
I want to say it's either child support or alimony.
So Hallie,
How many
Hallie,
kids does Hallie have? Hallie should have stayed
I don't
with
think
us.
she has like the kids like that.
Hallie
right?
should have stayed with us.
Oh, with the
Yeah.
with the non-cement.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Hallie, you gotta do better. Yo, come rock with an El Salvadorian.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, come over here.
get a little of that, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you can stay in my house since you don't have
Get some of that.
You
get
got to
some
give
of them
away all.
spices.
Since you probably got to give away your house now. Oh, damn. Okay, that's too far, right? Yo, man. So yeah, man. Shout out to all our questions, man. Stephen A. This was good talk.
Always, bro.
I like to argue a little bit, little debates actually. Let's a little back and forth debates.
Yeah, because
I
you're
get
wrong
to-
most of the time.
I get to see it. That's false.
You know?
I only speak when I'm correct.
That's wild.
That's it. That is wild. Right?
That's wild.
Yo, I've told people that before.
That is the most,
When they said like, "Why do you think you're?"
most narcissistic.
That is the most narcissistic shit I've ever
that make me a
heard.
narcissist?
I only speak when I'm correct. But you talk a lot. Yeah, well, I feel like I'm
Hey,
shit.
when I'm fucking right, I mean, why not?
I want to go a whole year referring to myself in third person.
You should. I actually do that very often.
I am not surprised.
It's
by
pretty. It's pretty cool. I like it.
That. No, I want to go a whole solid year of just have it.
Like with any conversation you have,
Any conversation.
third person,
Third person.
you should do it. That is something I will support, and I don't support you much.
I think I could do it, bro.
Yeah, but I think I don't support you much. But that is one.
No,
thing.
you don't really support me much at all. But
No. I mean, for
I
what?
think I can do
for
it.
what? You should.
It'd be hard. I think that's gonna be my goal next year.
But
A whole year of just
why
referring
next
to
year when you
myself.
can just start now?
Nah, I can't do it now.
You can.
I can't.
Why not?
Fresh. New Year's is my favorite holiday.
Really?
It is. I love the idea and thought of even it though it's fleeting or not true. Fresh start.
Yeah. That's
Because
right.
for me, it feels like lining my shit up
Yeah,
and get started. I just love the idea of a fresh start. It's my favorite holiday, and I was born on Thanksgiving.
I feel that.
What the?
Well, guys, let's get the fuck
I don't
out.
celebrate it. I celebrate Family Day.
Yeah, I celebrate the eats.
Family Day.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
Fuck that bullshit.
Hey, man, but hey, appreciate y'all tuning in, man.
Yes,
We
sir.
got to get up out of here. This is episode 293. We got some special episodes coming soon.
Go Brady.
Got some dope people coming. Cobretti, as usual, in the building. Nemo in the back, behind the lens. IQ in the mailroom. Norm in fucking Miami. And then me in the same spot as usual. I'm all mad because he's in Miami, right? Hey, this is a record. Shout out to Kevin McGee, friend of the show, man.
Shout out.
He dropped a new project, so make sure y'all go check that out. It's called Kevin McGee and Friends. This record is called On and On, featuring. This is probably an abbreviation, but it says XV. I'm pretty sure it's.
I didn't tell you about something.
Oh, what happened?
I like to give a shout out to my best friend, my writing partner, Corny, Mac Woods McLean.
My bad. I thought you said he was corny. I was like,
No.
that's not a good
Courtney.
shout out.
His name's Courtney.
Gotcha.
He put together his second music project, spoken word.
Sure.
And we go back and forth, and we put it together, and he put it together, and I featured on it.
Nice.
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 And now it's Grammy considered.
Let's talk about it next week.
Roger that.
Let's do that. Let's put it on the list. Hey, guys, episode 293. We'll see y'all next week.
Straight out the pocket, I got it, I never been without it. They all watching, they all clocking, they all mocking. I'm 10 steps ahead, don't even know about it. I clock in at Mach 10, can't catch me if you want it. I'm on it, you want it? Okay, well check the ballin'. I'm calling, darling, I get respect from all ends. I'm all in, like Nip and Lori, it's just a different story. I'm in my lane like Tory, I'm in the paint, I'm scoring. They hate, they can't ignore it. I'm into making money, I'm up and late till morning. I'm getting cake galore, you can say I'm baking more. Shit, I'm making more, you can say I'm banking more. On deposit, gotta thank the Lord. Let me pull it out and I can make it for it. G-Wagon, 4-door, I gotta trade the Ford. Learn a new language so I can date the foreign. Money talks, you can't relate, you born. Money talks, and you ain't got a word in. Yeah, shit. Money talks, and you ain't got a word in. Yeah. Busy. Straight out the middle, this little nigga been dropping more than pitching shit in New York. We got a lot in store. 85, I was born, same year as Rocky 4. Why would I even stop now? I never stopped before. Every sentence pen is hitting like it's sent to kill. 300K for the Richard Mill, cause time is real. Had all I used to have was General Mills. Now we have Mr. Childs as General Mills. Pardon the cereal bars, I'm far from spoon-fed. Where hand-me-down jeans got treated like new threads. Breaking bread with my niggas, keeping the crew fed. Been locked in since when Austin let his roots shred. Kevin, my G, he seen me come up just like he has been. I tell them L's you take, make postseason wins. Like Summers know I bring the heat on every beat he sent. Flowing like the ocean, niggas knowing they won't see my end.